Good afternoon and welcome to Essex County Ivy Hill Park. What a great weekend this past weekend. I had an opportunity to enjoy one of our 23 developed parks, but this weekend here at this park, besides Houston Stevens here from the Ivy Hill Neighborhood Association's Little League program, the County Girls Softball Championship took place last evening right over here on the other softball field here in the park, and a lot of great things happened yesterday, but throughout the weekend in the Essex County Park system. Today we're here to announce the two new improvements to this park, but as you can see, all our county parks have been renovated under our county executive's leadership, but some of the things that have been done in this park, our bathroom rest house building was renovated, the entrance enhancement as you come into the park with pavers, walkways, benches, a new softball, baseball, Little League field was developed with the assistance of the Neighborhood Association. Of course, our other field there, which is the Mike Shepard softball field, Phil, even though he was a baseball coach. But again, that field has been renovated, and we're going to announce some improvements today. But this park is definitely a neighborhood park for the community, and we just want to, again, and he'll talk later on, thank Houston Stevens and the Ivy Hill Neighborhood Association for taking a tremendous interest in this park. But today we're going to hear about our two new improvements. One is a 16 station exercise area in the park. So I want to call from Z-Tech. Ian, come on up and say a few words. A lot of pressure on this.
Hello. Yes, so we're looking to build 16, or was it 18? I'm not even sure, to be honest, but anyway, I'll have to check the plans. Fitness equipment stations on the park. We're looking to get it done by July 4th as per the requests that we've been receiving, hopefully in time for the holiday weekend. And aside from that, it's going to have a rubber safety surface, you know, brand new equipment, different types of pull-up bars and sit-up stations and stuff like that. And that's about it. That's all I can say right now. Thank you.
Couple points of clarification. You will have it done by July 4th. We want to make sure of that because it's going to be an important holiday weekend, and there are going to be 16 exercise units here. I believe it's game time apparatus, and again, if you look around the room, we all could use that exercise, so we're looking forward to July 4th. Our next project in the park, again, historic lighting, which has been a priority throughout our county park system as we continue to refurbish. TechCon is the contractor on this one. She knows how we work, and I like to call on Sylvia to come up and say a few words from TechCon. Come on, come on.
Hi, how's everybody this morning?
Fine.
Good. We're going to be installing 52 concrete light foundations, and then Public Service is going to put up their poles and lights. We're going to be doing cutting down some trees. And I just received my red line drawings so I could start working, Mr. County Executive. And so we're anxious. We're going to be starting any day now. All right? And I'm looking forward to working at Ivy Hill Park. I installed that beautiful synthetic turf Little League field. Yes, and I did a lot of things here many years ago. Thank you.
Thank you. And from our Ivy Hill Neighborhood Association, a great partner in helping us restore this park, we're going to ask him to say a few words. Houston Stevens.
Thank you. Well, we're very pleased with this new facility that we're going to have out here. It represents the third in a whole series of improvements in the park that are major. Ivy Hill Neighborhood Association is very proud, first of all, that Jody asked me about 10 years ago, Houston, why don't you go get a 501c3 so that we can partner on making these improvements that you all want up in that park. And so we did that, Joe, and it's been helpful to us in many, many, many ways. So I want to thank you for that leadership, that guidance, that impetus that you gave us to make that step forward in terms of advancing from an ad hoc group to a formal, community organization. Secondly, I want to thank Rufus Johnson Well, I was here when he made the proposal that we do this this improvement out here. Freeholder Rufus Johnson, I want to thank you for that. And of course, I just want to give a shout out. I really got to give a shout out to Dan Savanti. He's the moderator here tonight, but I want to give him a shout out because more than 20 years ago, I went to Dan along with some other people from the community seeking some improvements in the playground out here, and Dan was very, very, very responsive to us and our concerns. And as a consequence of that, we got a new playground, and since then, we've had 2 more. So, you know, we have so much use based upon the large number of children we have here. We got at least 5,000-6,000 people in these buildings here, and you know that's a couple thousand kids. So the park is really highly utilized by children, by seniors who walk the park and so on. You can see them as they walk around now. And Dan and Joe have been very, 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 very responsive to our demands, our needs. And with Rufus Johnson being on the Freeholder Board, we have an inside voice. And I want to thank you all. We have representatives here from the Neighborhood Association, Denise Cook, Delphine Hinton, and of course I can't miss, where is he? Where's our councilman? That is the senior aide to the councilman in the West Ward now, but we believe that he will probably be the councilman for the West Ward, Mr. Joe McCallum. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. One quick story about Houston. He calls the office and says, Dan, I need this. And I said, fine, Houston, I'll have it when you need it. I'll be right there. He's that type of guy, Joe. So we developed him the right way. And anybody that wears a hat like that, we're all for you, Houston. You know, before I call on the sheriff, I just quick anecdote for the weekend, you know, holiday weekend, you can imagine all the things that happen in our county park system, all great things that happen as far as participation, people coming out to the festival in Weequahic. And Sheriff, and our county executive was out there on this weekend helping with the parking, and your officers did a tremendous job on Sunday at the complex. We had over close to 10,000 visitors at Turtleback Zoo. That's just at the zoo, not the entire complex. So let's put our hands up and let's go on our Sheriff Armando Fontoura.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. It is indeed challenging. When Joe D and our Freeholder Board does a great job with our facilities, they become destinations. You know, on a holiday weekend when folks who live in a city who opt not to drive down the shore don't have to do that. You know, Weequahic Park, the African American Festival, Heritage Festival, drew somewhere between 30 and 40,000 people per day. Whoa. Down there. So that's, you know, people come, they enjoy themselves, the rides, the pony rides, you name it, and it goes on, and it's peaceful. Peaceful because I think the would-be knuckleheads know that we don't tolerate nonsense in our parks. I think they're well aware of that, so therefore they kind of stay away. And if they come in, we take care of business immediately. The complex up on the South Mountain, Dan talked about that. It's unbelievable. And then you have Branchbrook Park, thousands and thousands and thousands of people there on a weekend. Brookdale Park, it doesn't matter where it is. Ivy Hill Park, you know, it's challenging, but along with our partners, municipal partners, and if you see there's one of our cards here, there's a Newark Police card. It's a collaboration. We collaborate well. I came out of the Newark Police Department, that's where I started, that's where I retired from. So we have a great relationship. We work well. It should be a sanctuary. You see that young man sleeping in that carriage there? That's what, he feels comfortable and peaceful, right? This is a sanctuary. That's what it's supposed to be. Every neighborhood should have a sanctuary. We try to maintain this. Joe D builds it, Freeholder Board supports it, we protect it. That's our job, and you have our commitment. I know Houston and the rest of us folks from the committee up here, they hold our feet to the fire. I hear from them quite often, either through Rufus or through the councilman. You know, we hear from you folks all the time. We don't mind that at all. I enjoy hearing from all of you. That's what I get paid for. So don't be bashful. Continue to call. You see something to the right, Let us deal with it immediately so people understand this is a sanctuary. It's our sanctuary. And we have our word that we'll do everything we can to maintain it as a sanctuary. Thank you very much.
And our freeholder representative, who was told me how great we did this weekend down at Weequahic Golf, and all our facilities are tremendous this weekend, is our freeholder, and I'm going to classify you as our freeholder golf pro, Rufus Johnson.
No, I'm nowhere near a golf pro. I'm nowhere near. I think you got to get that to Joe and my guy Ralph Chilella, who's not. I haven't seen him here today, but this is a great moment for us here in Ivy Hill Park. There's a couple other improvements that we'll be looking forward to for the future for the park. But as of right now, I think this exercise unit, these young men that used to be here, it's about 14 or 15 young individuals that be over there on that one little chin-up bar. And we've made a commitment to them over a year and a half ago, almost 2 years, am I right?
Yes, yes.
Made it to them in the coffee shop that we will try to get this done, because they were going to Weequahic Park and looking at what the exercise facility that Weequahic Park had. And they was like, hey, why can't we have it here? Why can't we have it here? Of course, I had to go and sit with the county exec in their meetings and try to get them to understand the importance of it. But Joe is a sports-orientated guy.
That's true.
He's very sports-orientated.
That's real.
So I knew that I was halfway there, but I had to get him the other half of the way there. And then he told me, he said, Rufus, it's done. It's going to happen. And here we are today, celebrating it. 16 different units that's going to be there for them to come up here and exercise on. But my next thing here, I'm hoping that, to go back into those meetings, I'm hoping that I'm 50% there, Joe. Because of our partnership, I'm hoping I'm 50% there, is a quarter-mile track with rubberized so that people can also come out and they can walk. They can exercise and they can walk. You know, we have a lot of people that utilize this park. We have a lot of adults here that's here in the evenings. We have some in the morning. Usually we have some of the seniors from South Orange and Maplewood that are here in Ivy Hill Park, sitting down, just enjoying the peace and serenity of the park. And thanks to Armando Fontoura, because every time I call him about some incidents about the kids being in here acting a little unruly, they're there. They're here to make them at least disperse. So I thank you for the security that you give us here. And I thank Joe and Phil, his chief of staff, for at least entertaining the things that Houston, myself, and some of the others here in the West Ward that really care about our community and care about our neighborhood, that we really want to see happen. We want our neighborhood to be just as beautiful as any other neighborhood. And we're going to keep on trying until we get it there. So I thank you. I thank the administration for giving me their ear, giving me their resources to get these kind of things done, because without that partnership, it would not be done. So thank you. We are going to enjoy this, Joe. We really are. Thank you very much.
I just want to pass this one quick story around about the county exec. You know, it's a crazy weekend, so we try to enjoy ourselves a little bit up at the complex. We're sitting there on a Sunday, 11 o'clock, you know, the zoo opens up, and Armando can attest to this. The amount of cars that were coming into the complex were just flooding. So I'm helping with the cars, and all of a sudden Joe's there, you know, right next to me. He's parking cars. So I'm up on the third level. I didn't tell you the story. I'm helping cars getting in, you know, sweat's pouring off me. I look down, and Joe is crossing the people across, you know, the walkway. A councilman from North Cornwall says to me, I can't believe it. Even the county executive works on a day off. And here I am sweating and bullets coming. He didn't say anything about me, Joe, but I said to him, we don't give him a gun and we don't give him power tools. But if we did, he'd do everything. Our county executive, Joe did.
Sheriff, it was 10,000 people on Sunday, 7,000 on Monday, and then we had like 5,000 on Friday, and your men truly did a great job. That was just for the zoo. It was not everything else that's going on. First of all, to my good friend Houston Stevens, it's not been 10, it's been 12 years. that I gave you that information.
That's right.
And the reason that this park is in the condition that it's in is because you advocating for the park. And we became partners, just like we became partners with the other 52 park conservancy groups that we have. Because there's no question we have the best park system in the entire state of New Jersey, probably in the country. And what's been done over the last 12 years, where parks have been neglected, they've all have been redone. No one in the entire state is doing what we're doing here with our parks, and we constantly continue to improve it. But there's no question, Houston, you have been my friend, plus you've been our partner here, and they talk about me directing traffic. I come here on Saturday and Sundays, and you're teaching the kids how to play baseball, and that's even more important.
Yeah.
Rufus Johnson, for over 40 years, we've been friends, and now he's elected official. Like I say, he does a great job representing the people of Essex County, and whatever he says, I know it's good, and I'll never say no, Rufus, to the things that you want to do, because I know your heart's in the right place. It's just not here for every place. To Dan Salvanti, to Sanjia's brother, to Willie, and to the entire staff, to our contractors, they truly do a great job in making sure that we move these projects to go. You can never do enough to improve our parks. It all has to be about quality of life, and all has to do about economic development. When you have nice things, people want to stay right here within the county. And that's what we've done, from one end of the county to the other, from Newark to Milburn to Livingston. Everyone gets treated the same. And I think we've done that. I think we've done a great job. These additions here, we want every one of our parks, all right, to have the same type of lighting in our parks. Just like Westside, Vailsburg, Branchbrook, they're all going to have the historic lights. They're all going to have the park benches. And that's going to be, they're all going to have the same signs. And then plus with all the other additions that we do as far as with the athletic stuff we'll continue to do. We have a young man that wants to meet you. They gave us a presentation about a skateboard. Let me tell you, he's a graduate of Science Park, right?
Yeah.
Science Park. He's going into the Air Force. He had our attention, right, Phil?
Yeah.
The kid is one bright individual, you know, and he came there with his computer and he showed us what he'd like to get done, and he lobbied very, very, very hard for it. And it's something that we should consider, all right, whether it's here or whether it's someplace else. We should consider, even though there's big liability in there, but we should consider it, because if a young man could come there and talk about his community and about the needs here, it's something that we need to listen about. So I just want to thank everyone. This is another great day in here in Essex County. Let's be proud of what's going on here, and to thank you to my good friend Houston, and to Rufus, and to the sheriff, and to everybody involved. Thank you all very, very much.
And knows when I finish, we can go home. I was paying my last respects at a funeral parlor recently, and as I was leaving, the funeral director came over and asked how old I was. I told him. He said, it's hardly worth your while to go home. I'm here because Tom Durkin and I started together. We were working for John McGeehan, who was the premier trial attorney of our generation. And John McGeehan was a chain smoker, and would sometimes go to sleep at his desk with a cigarette. And Tommy would come into his office and go like this. Oh, do you smell smoke? But it was a job that I really paid 85 hours a week. And so we didn't want to. Anyway, I spent 9 years as the prosecutor of this county. And Tommy Durkin tried cases while I was prosecutor. And I would have to put an assistant prosecutor in a courtroom against him. And I never had much success. He was good. there are people maybe walking the streets of Essex County today who should be in jail. I travel and justice system. Anyway, we have a long history together, and I couldn't resist the opportunity to come here. So whatever is said on that plaque is well deserved.
You never want to follow Governor Berman. The staff's got to be. But I just want the Durkin family to know the only reason he came today is to make sure his statue is still there. It's still there. Remember when you questioned the plaza? He says, what are you going to do? Take that name off and put somebody else's name on there? But first and foremost, I want to thank my staff. You know, there's no question. I think out of 365 days a year, we have press conference or events like this 275 times a year. And my staff truly does an outstanding job. But today, there's no question. Look at everyone that's here in support of Tom Durkin and the Durkin family. He's done so much for all of us. And you hear some people, how they spoke about him and the love they have for him, how they call him his friend. You know, but he too was my teacher, advisor. He was one of my mentors, and also he was a dear friend of mine. And, you know, to be involved with Steve Adubato, my political mentor for over 40 years, and then to have Ray Durkin, who's in the hospital today, and then we're honoring Tom Durkin, because Tom Durkin never got along with Steve Adubato, and Ray Durkin always used to try to put them together. And then it was Joe D trying to put them together, so I get very confused the last 4 years. But Tom Durkin, the last 12 years that I've served as county exec, there's so much that he's done for the state, there's so much done for the county, but what he's done for me as an individual has been amazing. After I got elected, there was no question. I had concerns about the government and how we were going to move forward. And Tom Durkin mentioned to me that we need to have an inspector general. So we met, I think it was myself, Bill, and Frank, and he told us to meet us in Atlantic City, meet us at this room, and I will have the person for you who will be your Inspector General. He will be a former FBI employee, and he will be your guy. I didn't know who he was, I just went to the room, and that's how I met Dominic Scaglione. And Dominic's been with me for the last 12 years, and the reason we have an Inspector General is because of Tom Durkin. There's no question Dominic has done a great job in the last 12 years, and I want to thank you, Dominic. The other thing is, our father in the last 12 years has been the chairman of our vocational schools. There is no question, our vocational schools are the best in the state. And for the last 5 years, we have 2 national rubric awards. All right, Mr. Durkin, even though he wasn't being paid, he was at every meeting and advising us at every meeting and telling us what should be done, what should be done. And he was so helpful to us on many fronts. And anytime I had any questions the last 12 years, anytime I know I could call him, I know he was there for us here in this county. And this, what we're doing here, is something that I want to make sure that we never forget this man, because he contributed so much. Just like we've done in the last 12 years, how we've changed this complex. This complex is the best complex in the state of New Jersey. Just this year, we honored former Chairman Phil Fickner, all right, which will be right next to your father. Will be a stone with a bronze plaque, which will be unveiled. Then last week, George O'Leary, we put a beautiful bronze statue working with the PBA there. Today, we're doing Tom Durkin. Next month, we're going to be honoring the stadium. The North Bear Stadium is going to be changed to the Larry Doby Stadium. There, he's a former resident of Montclair. He's the first African-American to play in the American League. And then come October, we're going to have at Rosa Parks Plaza, we're going to be unveiling a beautiful statue of Rosa Parks. So this is a site where everyone's going to be able to come to, and we have hundreds of thousands that's going to be learned, okay, about the history of the people that contributed. And that's what I want people to do. This is a beautiful complex. And Tom Durkin has gave so much of his life to everyone, especially those unfortunate. He was always there with his hand out. He was always there helping. Not asking for himself, asking about other people what he could do. So at this time, I'd like to call Betty up and Murphy up. Where's Phil Elijah? I can't see anymore. I want you to... This is what Phil's going to be reading, is what's going to be, if you could read this, pretty good. It's going to be the same thing which we're going to unveil there, and then we're going to ask everyone to go to the stone. We're going to unveil the stone, and then we have a reception right there underneath the tent outside. Bill?
Essex County salutes Thomas Edward Durkin Jr. He is not wise to me who is wise in words only, but he who is wise in deeds. St. Gregory. Respected by his peers in the legal field, adored by his large and loving family, and honored for his generous philanthropic efforts, Tom Durkin lived a wonderful life. The eldest of 6, his father was a Newark police officer, and his mother came from Galway at age 13, working as a domestic. He held his parents in great esteem and lived his life to honor them, his Irish heritage and his Catholic religion. He and his 5 sons attended St. Benedict's Prep, where he established the Thomas E. Durkin Jr. Scholarship. He was honored by the Prep, by Seton Hall Law School, where 4 of his 7 children followed him into the law, and was named a Knight of the Order of St. Gregory by Pope John Paul II. He marched in every Newark St. Patrick's Day parade from 1919 until 2013, except for his time in the Navy during World War II. His counsel was sought by politicians and prelates. His generosity reached friends and strangers, and his legacy will be long remembered. Dedicated May 2014, Joseph M. Vincenzo, Essex County Executive, and the Board of Chosen Freeholders.
I'm not from a show business family, so I'm just a poor girl from Carmen. So I'll be able to do this, but I'll try. After all of these wonderful speeches about my husband, there just isn't anything that I can add. It's all so true. Sometimes when I hear about all that he did, I really can't believe it. When I met him, he was just a little boy, and I was a little girl. We met in Belmore, New Jersey, in August of 1947, and married in 1949. Those were the best 65 years of my life. I just can't tell you what a wonderful husband he was, how good he was to all of our children, his great-grandchildren, of whom we now have 3. I always get them mixed up. But anyway, I was never much of a mathematician. But when I really did think that maybe some of you would know something, would like to know something, about the Tom that I knew those many years ago. And it was really quite confusing for me. I had gone to Belgium with my mother because I had an aunt who had a house there. So as we took train, and when we got to in a taxi, and then when we got to the house, my Aunt Marie came out the door, and who's behind her? But this really cute guy. I thought, wow, this might have been a better couple of days than I thought. So, I mean, my aunt introduced me and my mother to Mickey Durkin. And I thought, well, that's nice. And he did look good. And I was hoping he would be the I looked good too. And I think he did. Because later on in the afternoon, he asked me if I would like to go up on the boards with him that evening. I took advantage of the opportunity. And somebody mentioned that my husband was really a charmer of all the women in this coterie all the time. Well, I have to tell you that he was a charmer, but I'm the one who really charmed him. Anyway, I don't want to, who was it that said he never, he said something about he shouldn't have been asked to speak because he's very little women. Well, so am I. I don't get this opportunity very often. Tom was always the speaker, and I was always in the background. So anyway, not that he ever did that. I'm just joking. But after a while, we really were dating. And I guess in today's lingo, you would say we were kind of. So after a while, I was invited up to 16 Divine Street, where Tom's family lived. Well, it was really wonderful. A lot of all the kids around. I was from a very small family, and everybody called him Mickey. So his mother and father called him Mickey, his siblings called him Mickey, his friends called him Mickey, and his mother even called him, when she was angry, she called him Michael. So how was I to know there was something strange about this? Believe it or not, until the day that we went to get our marriage license, I never knew that his name was Thomas Edward Durkin Jr. At the register thing, he's busy writing Thomas Edward Durkin Jr. I said, Mickey, what is this? He said, oh, don't worry, don't worry. I said, I am worried. Oh, am I married? So, anyway, and I said also, you know, all my friends in Carnegie are calling me Mickey. And a lot of them still do. Well, there aren't many more. But I do have a very good friend and none who still calls my husband Mickey, or until the day he died. So, but I thought this is so odd. You know, my mother was Lizzie, I was Betty, my sister was Doris, and my father was Ed. There was no problem. We never had all these nicknames. Well, I want to tell you, I no longer think it's so odd. Because I think it's a generational gap or something. Because if you look at my own family now, who ever says Tom instead of Chauncey? Who ever calls Murphy Michael, and that's his name? Then we have Huey, who's really Edward, and I keep wondering, where did this coin come from? What can I do about it? Nothing. These Durkins just take over. And to make matters worse, guess what they decided? I'm no longer Betty, or Mom, or even her. I am now who? And that doesn't sound ridiculous sometimes. I'll be having a very serious conversation with a debt collector or something, and all of a sudden he says, or she, well, will you give me your email address? I I feel very foolish when I have to say thank you for all you do for my husband.
Abbott Hall, thank you.
Actually, Tom would take out his rosaries. He had an incredible devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of God. And so as we continue with this ceremony, let's ask the Mother of God and God, Jesus, to give us his Spirit mysteriously connected always, and his wife probably knows this better than anyone, to the Lord Jesus. And so all of what we've heard from so many people and diverse folks today tells me that he stood always in the light of truth. That is the light of God. So we give thanks for Tom and for all the persons he's helped. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Hope someone's behind me.
All right, Murph. Ready, guys? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just pull the bunting off.
Just pull the bunting off. All right.
Most important, on behalf of our county exec, Joe D. This is the latest installment of our expanding recreation complex, which is a sight to behold. If you were here last weekend, you'll know what I mean. Come up, spend a day, spend a week. You won't see it all in that amount of time. Without further ado, we want to go ahead and talk about our playground. So I'm going to call up our design person from French and Perillo. That's Mr. Mike Piga.
Hello, my name is Mike Piga. I'm with French and Perillo. I want to again thanks Joe for giving me this opportunity for designing this lovely playground. To go along over here, I'm going to walk over here. Our playground is to continue the theme of the nautical idea. As you can see, we've had the nautical theme throughout the park with the lights and with the.
Thank you, gentlemen. Continuing on to some of our other great partners and representing the support we give with the Board of Chosen Freeholders, I want to introduce our Freeholder Vice President, Pat Siebold.
Hi, this is really thrilling to be here. Since Joe DiVincenzo became county executive, the entire county has changed. No matter where you go, you see such beautiful places, and I've been happy to play a small part, a small role in seeing what happens. So I'm happy to be here today representing the Freeholder Board, and I'm on the Open Space Trust Fund Advisory Board, and whatever the county executive wants to do comes before us, we review it, and then finally it gets to the Freeholder Board. And I am really pleased to be here today at this wonderful, wonderful place. I remember when there was nothing here and nobody ever came here. Now they are coming in droves to be here. It is so gorgeous, and this playground will be a wonderful, wonderful asset. We have terrific people working on the project, and it will bring even more people here because they're going to want to come to use the playground. So thank you very much, and thanks, Joe, for doing such a wonderful job.
I like to say most important, one of our philosophies, I'm sure in this administration and certainly in the Parks Department, is to keep things clean and safe. And the main person that keeps us in both conditions, especially safe in Essex County, has come to the rescue many times. Not that we've had problems, but as far as being our person to call on when it comes to taking care of this beautiful park system, and that's our Sheriff, Armando Fontoura.
Thank you, Director. Thank you very much. Nothing motivates a police officer to do his job or her job more than the challenge of keeping children safe. It just brings a whole new dimension when you add children, when you add a playground. They're motivated very much by the zoo, and this place is it's incredible. This weekend, I know Joe D was out there directing traffic. We're going to send him to traffic school because he was a little shaky on some of the cars going this way and that way. So we're going to send him to traffic school because he's over here. Goes by an hour later, I see him heading back this way. I said, "What are you doing, Joe? Everything is fine. Everything's under control." But this place, this weekend, we averaged about 7,000 people a day over this long weekend. And some days over 10 for this whole complex. There are other places, but our folks are very, very motivated. They love this place just like we do. I told Joe before, so every time I come up here now, I want to just go for a walk and go to have a glass of wine when I finish. Unfortunately, today I have a meeting to go to, so I have to leave right away. But this just inspires you. This is a great, great, rest assured that our folks are as motivated as they could be to make sure we keep this as pristine and clean, as safe as we possibly can. At that, you have our guarantee. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Next, we'd like to introduce some of our representatives from West Orange. In particular, our West Orange Council President, Susan McCartney, and Victor Cirillo, Councilman. Come on up. Who's going to speak on your behalf?
Both of you could speak, Susan and Victor.
Both of you.
Thank you very much.
So good afternoon. Welcome to West Orange. I've been the town council liaison to the planning board now for 12 years. And I really want to thank the county for coming, for giving us the courtesy review. I've spoken to Michael numerous times at all of the courtesy hearings, and the projects just seem to be getting more fun. And I have asked him too if they look fun. So we look forward to seeing this. I own a preschool, so I know my families will definitely take advantage of this recreation area. I have one more request.
Go ahead.
That we have days like this from here on out, and we'll be set, okay? Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, County Executive, and all the dignitaries. Before the event, I was talking to Robert Martin, who's back there. He lives right up the street. And he was telling me how happy he is with the work being done, the fact that the facilities are being kept pristine, as the sheriff talked about. And I just wanted to, on behalf of West Orange, I just want to tell you, really, really appreciate it. All the residents are happy, and we always come out here, and we'll continue that support. Anything you need from us on the town council level, we'll be there for you. Thank you very much.
Madam President, I'll have you know, I have word that Joe is scheduling a meeting with those responsible for the weather. Another great partner with us is the City of the Township of Orange. And today we have Christopher Mobley here representing Mayor Dwayne Warren.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mayor Warren unfortunately could not be with us today. He's in Trenton, but he did want me to come and read some prepared statements. And he says, "Welcome to the City of Orange Township Reservoir. We come again as a result of another step in our partnership with the County of Essex. Joe DiVincenzo's vision, carried by the Board of Chosen Freeholders, has been great for the City of Orange and all those who enjoy family-friendly environment that our partners has produced. we look forward to our continued partnership with the county, in particular with working with Joe DiFincenzo. This is a spectacular, spectacular project. You know, I was here just a few years ago, actually probably 2 or 3 years ago, with a group of children that I work with, many of them from the city of Orange Township, in my fraternity. And I brought the kids up here, we took them to go fishing, and to just look at this place today from what it was a few years ago, the transformation is just absolutely outstanding. So I want to just applaud you, Joe, and thank you again. And I know that all of the residents from the city of Orange thank you, and certainly we're going to make sure that we have residents and children here on opening day. Thank you very much.
It's you.
I'm next. First of all, this has been a team effort. I just want to thank, of course, the freeholders. I want to thank my staff, Sanji and Dan Savanti, my parks director, my chief, Phil, and my other deputy chief, Bill Payne. I want to thank the West Orange officials, Mayor Parisi, who's been a very big supporter, Susan and Victor, for making sure that that not only they approve it, but they also give us some ideas how we could continue to upgrade the facility. I just want both of you to know there will be no more development around the waterway. All right, this will be the last project. The only thing that you will be seeing around the waterway now will be landscaping. All right, so this playground will be it. There will be no dog park here at the end. We do have 2 other dog parks or 3 other dog parks that people will be able to utilize. The only other development that will be taking place here now will be the brand new, which you'll be seeing, the parking deck right behind Cody Arena. All right, and of course the expansion of Turtleback Zoo, which we're going to continue to do because we have 2,000 acres open space and we always continue to move them out. But this entire area here is pristine, it's beautiful, and this is the way we're going to maintain it and keep it beautiful. And as far as landscaping, we have the best of the best. Mike Piggin, he knows how much I love landscaping because to me that's what brings out our parks and stuff. And to our partner from the Township of Orange, Mayor Dwayne Warren, who's been my partner for a very long time, but ever since he's been the mayor, he's been very, very supportive. And this is a lease between the county and Orange. We are partners. We'll never forget that we're paying you lease and you own the waterway. Hopefully we'll be expanding our lease though. You know, but this is something beautiful. You have to come here either on the weekends, at night, or early in the morning just to see the people that are walking around the entire waterway. I'm here, I work out, I see my Bill here all the time. Sanji works out here. It's just beautiful, it's spectacular. And to think that in the county of Essex that we could have something like this to be able to utilize it for recreation, quality of life, about economic development, by bringing people here. That's what it's all about. Bringing people here at Essex County to be able to spend their dollars. So this particular playground that we're building here, it really ties in with this pavilion here. Because when people have picnics and you have kids, all right, there's only so much you can do. You have a playground now, these kids will be able to utilize for recreation, to be able to utilize walking around the entire waterway, and they'll be able to go on the paddle boats, all right, and it's not going to cost them any money. It's free. So this is another great project. I'm just very, very happy to everybody, to all our partners, and to my friend Beaver Electric. August 1st, this has to, both of you, this has to be open. All right? Thank you all very much.